everybody, it's the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition, playing a little pitch and catch with my nephew, Caleb.
Hey guys.
He's the next Jerry Rice. Want to show him?
Yeah,
Let's
go.
do it. You're going to love this. Ready, set, go! Let's start the show.
Yeah! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Maurice Brown Comedy Show NFL Championship Preview Edition on bogradio.fm. I am Maurice Brown, to be joined later by former college football standout Aaron Too Tall Moore. Hip Hop Artist Antoine A.S. Stewart could not be with us tonight, but Aaron and I will try to drive this train or plane or fly this plane or car or whatever it is, or tricycle. I don't know which, but we're going to bring it home for you tonight. No question about it. Today, we're going to talk about what is now sizing up to be one of the more interesting championship rounds in the NFL that we've seen in a while. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about what happened this past weekend in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. The Philadelphia Eagles beating the Rams 29-22. Now, a lot of us, I didn't think the Rams would be able to come out there and put up a fight, being a West Coast team, sunshine, Los Angeles, going to a cold, harsh environment in Philadelphia, snow on the ground, cold, brutal, Arctic-like. Not a place where you would expect the LA Rams to go in there and have success. They almost did. But when you're looking at Saquon Barkley, they're a problem. And sure enough, Saquon Barkley was able to win the ball game for Philly at the end of the day. But the Rams put up a heck of a fight. And I didn't expect that from them. Matt Stafford played really, really well. And his wife spoke up for him today. She said his ribs were crushed. I don't know how good of a look that is if your wife has to tell everybody you were hurt. As a matter of fact, Miss Stafford, stand down. Good fight by the Rams. Good fight by Matt Stafford. Sean McVay coached a jewel of a game, and they almost got it done. Puka Nacua got hurt in that game. Last time I checked, his wife didn't let anybody know about him being injured, so he's good there. But anyway, the Eagles, they did their thing, and they move on to the championship round. And what's their reward? The Washington Commanders. And as I speak of the Washington Commanders, 45-31 over the Detroit Lions. And the Lions, they were talking a lot of smack coming into this game. They were talking a lot of trash. What they're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going, we ain't worried about Jaden Daniels. And, we have to put him out. If he thinks he's going to keep running the ball, we're going to send him to the blue tent. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, dude. You just got a microphone and a side order of queso dip with nacho chips. Shut up. You're not going to hit anybody. But they were talking all kinds of junk. And, this is a perennial losing franchise. Hadn't won in 50 years. I think 1957 was the last time they won a championship, and they're just talking smack like they win every year. They've been perennial bums, and they get the opportunity, and they just want to talk a bunch of junk. And now you're going home. You're going home. And matter of fact, I heard Dan Campbell was talking smack before the game, and then he gets up at the podium. He starts crying like a baby. Shut up. Stop crying. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, they had a great year. They did. The Lions had a great year. I'm a Packer fan, so I don't really care for Detroit. I don't appreciate them beating up on my boys this year. But hey, they had a great year. I'm surprised. I thought they were going to the Super Bowl. I thought the Lions were a lock for the Super Bowl. I'm shocked. I can't believe the Commanders walked up into Lincoln Field and they really, to be totally honest with you, they really started moving the furniture around. I mean, 45-31, So it's too bad for the Lions. Another disappointing Super Bowl attempt because they had a shot last year against Frisco. Dan Campbell going for it constantly, and it ultimately caught up with them, and the 49ers go in the Super Bowl. Come back this year, and they just ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, they never had a chance really to dictate, the outcome by a fourth and whatever. Guess who was going for it on fourth down, though? The Commanders. Every time I looked up, Jaden Daniels was lining up on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3. They're going for it again, and they were converting. And as I say all of that, we welcome to the show former college standout Aaron Too Tall Moore, #1 Commander fan in the house. Aaron, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
You got to be feeling really good. I was just talking about those sad Detroit Lion fans. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them at all. All that trash they were talking is like, I'm like, look, man, you guys got to go out there and play the game. Respect the Commanders. Respect Jaden Daniels. Okay, those guys are really good. Don't tell me you're going to send him to the blue tent if he keeps running. You're an announcer with a bag of Doritos right now. You're not going to hit anybody. Okay. And so, yeah, I mean, look, they're your team, man. Talk about the Command. Go ahead and brag on them for a little bit, Too Tall.
Listening to the radio, it's kind of like a surreal moment. But the funny thing about this team, if you really tuned into the team, it doesn't feel like the job is complete. Like they're not content with just making it to the NFC Championship game. And I think Dan Quinn has done a real good job for keeping these guys week by week. You know, the job is not done. Even though we're not supposed to be here, or they believe they were supposed to be there. But, you know, outside media, nobody picked them to be in the NFC Championship game. And I wonder what was the betting odds of that? Washington making it to the NFC Championship game. Somebody had to make some money out there.
Well, somebody made some money. I mean, believe you me, somebody made some money on that. I can tell you right now. When you look at the Washington Commanders and you look at the way that their season has gone, they had shown flashes most of the year. They started out with a loss. I think their first game out of the gate, they lost to the Bucs in Tampa, I believe, or it was week 2. I forget which.
Week one. And they played a good game, but Jaden didn't have his best game. He was kind of rusty. It was his first start in the NFL. And as the season progressed, you know, he started to get better. And I would argue that the real turning point in the Commander season came against the Chicago Bears. It was a Hail Mary that they threw. The game, for all intents and purposes, was over. All the Bears had to do was, again, shut up and stop talking all that smack and defend this last play. And I'm going to look at the radio call. We're going to listen to the radio call. The Commanders and Bears. I think this was week 8 in Washington, D.C.
Oh, here you go. He's gotten hit throughout the rest of the game, and it's hurting more now. Comes down to one last play, and it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh, my goodness! This town is going crazy.
This town is going crazy. And from that point on, it seemed like the trajectory for the Commanders was heading upwards. And, of course, the Bears headed downward. It was 2 ships passing in the night. And the Redskins now 1 game away from the Super Bowl.
And I that was a big moment. And what Dan Quinn got these. Dan Quinn is a psychologist, because I'm also looking at his psychology and how he, you know, really his phrases he be using against the teams. And one of his phrases said at his press conference is, "If you live right, things gonna bounce your way." And meaning, like, if you do the right things, you put the work in, eventually things are gonna start bouncing your way, just because you put the work in, you put the time in.
Yeah.
And and then when you have things like that happen, and you got this coach saying this, the whole, you know, mini camps, training camps, preseason, he's continued saying these things over and over. And then you have this happen. You're like, hold up, he right. Like, and then you have the team starting to, this rally around each other. And this is what happens. They are really a family in that locker room. He created a family. And then this is what it can happen when you just don't live on the outside noise, believe in each other. They have, like, I heard Luvu talk this press conference today, was like, it's no superstars in his locker room, there's no divas in his locker room. It's just a band of brothers that believe that why not us, and we could win.
And I totally agree with that. I mean, the Commanders, which I'm always tempted to call them the Redskins, but the Commanders, I mean, they shocked the world. There's no question about that. And you look at Jaden Daniels, he played, to me, like a seasoned veteran, and he's also a born-again Christian, which I really love. But I have to ask you this question. You watch this kid, a rookie, one step away from the Super Bowl. Is Jaden Daniels the greatest rookie QB1 in NFL history?
Hands down. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The records he's broke. Nobody's ever seen a rookie play like this, and everybody says the same thing. If you look at ESPN, I mean, First Take, and all these shows of all these analysts and NFL analysts, and you hear Dan Orlovsky talking about they just waiting for him to hit his rookie wall. You saw Williams hit the rookie wall. You saw all these other quarterbacks hit the rookie wall, but he never hit it.
No.
And you keep waiting for him to do something, but the only thing he does, he just keep breaking records.
The last person I want to hear to continue to run his mouth is Dan Orlovsky. This guy runs his mouth all the time. He's talking about – this dude was proclaiming Sam Darnold as, the official starter for the Vikings for the next 5 years. I'm like, dude, everybody – I don't want to hear Dan Orlovsky. The guy's a career backup. That's the only – and he's telling everybody how to play quarterback. He wasn't able to play very well. Anyway, I'll leave it alone. But no, he's the greatest rookie quarterback I think we've ever seen in NFL history. He's so calm under pressure. He's a veteran, and he can be under tons of pressure and throw a seed.
And here's the difference:
50-yard seed, and it's like, how did he do that?
And here's the difference between him and because Ben Roethlisberger came out with Pittsburgh. He had a great year. He took them to 14 wins. You've seen Dak Prescott, his rookie year, they came out. I think he took them like 12 wins or something like that. Russell Wilson had a good rookie year. RG3 had a good, but the difference between Jaden Daniels, and I'm gonna put Ben Roethlisberger in there, what the team is asking Jaden Daniels to do and how much is on his shoulders, because without him, we not there.
No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, without him, he's not there. But when you got Ben Roethlisberger in that era, you had the buzz, you had different weapons that he had on that team. So it's really Jaden Daniels that's guiding his team and making us believe, and he's the X factor. And when he's playing well, it's hard for us to be beat.
And then think about the Redskins, Commanders, the Washington football team. They had the talent. At the end of the day, this is a quarterback-driven league. And if you don't have a QB1, you can pretty much forget it. I don't care how good your guys are on defense or offense, you've got to have a QB1. And the Commanders, they have him in Jaden Daniels. And they got a big showdown coming up with Philly on Sunday, which we're going to talk about a little bit more. That's going to be at Lincoln Field in Philadelphia, PA. That's going to be Sunday at 3:00. But continuing on with the results on this past weekend, the Chiefs 23-14. Now, there's a lot of controversy with the Chiefs Texan game. Matter of fact, whenever the Chiefs play, particularly in postseason, there's controversy. A lot of people feel like they get preferential treatment from the referees on the field. And my only response to that is they do. But on top of that, you have to also consider guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dan Marino. I can name the greats in any sport. Mario Lemieux in hockey. Well, guess what? Because of how good they are, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. And I know that doesn't sound fair or correct, but if you really look at what the Chiefs have done, going for a three-peat, they've been to 5 straight AFC championships, and I think they've won 4 of them. Do the Kansas City Chiefs get preferential treatment from referees? And is it a right for champions to receive the benefit of the doubt status?
That the first question, does he get preferential treatment? Of course he does.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
And when I say of course he does, I meant Patrick Mahomes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because people want to see, I mean, it's a business.
Yeah.
People want to see the best players play. And if you doing a pass rusher coming in and you close to his helmet, they're gonna call it just to let you know we need him on the field. So of course he's gonna get the calls. Now, is it right? Should champions receive the benefit of the doubt? I mean, you should call the game.
Okay.
Call the game. That's what I say. Now, call the game.
Well, you should call the game, but I think we all know, as I said, from watching people like MJ, particularly in the NBA, the superstars are always Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, the superstar Steph Curry. The superstars are always LeBron James. The superstars are always going to get the benefit of the doubt because of their status. It just goes with the territory. When you do it the way that they do it, on the high level that they do it on, hey man, you're gonna get that pass. I mean, and in football and hockey and baseball, superstars traditionally they get a pass.
And especially when you're playing the Chiefs or any superstar, for that matter, you have to understand that, especially as a defense. Some of the calls the Texans got, the first personal foul on Patrick Mahomes, I think that was ridiculous. I really did. The NFL gonna have to do something about that, because if a hand slap side of the helmet, that is not a personal foul. I understand helmet to helmet, and some of these are outrageous. I mean, but again, as you say, the best of the best is going to get the benefit of the doubt. And
yeah,
Patrick Mahomes, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. I mean, you just have to come out. You can't allow the refs to be in a position, or the game to be in a position to be that close when you play the Chiefs if you think you're going to win. Buffalo Bills coming into a hot territory, and they're gonna have they can't allow the refs to cause the game. Basically, they gotta come in there meaning business and get a lead, and now allow the refs to put the Chiefs in a position to seal and win the game.
Well, it's the nature of the beast. This is what you're dealing with. To be a champion, you have to earn the right to be a champion. So, yeah, you're dealing with cards stacked against you, and you have to find a way to overcome that. Number one, as you just said, don't put yourself in a position where they get a chance to play hocus pocus.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give them that opportunity. Play a clean game, and then talk to me later. You look at the Baltimore Ravens. They go up to Buffalo, and they lose, I think, the final here, 27-25. Well, if you look at Baltimore's season, they should have been in Baltimore. That's number one. You lost to the freaking Raiders. You lost to the dead-gum Cleveland Browns. I mean, there's no excuse. Mm-hmm. And now you have to go on the road into a very rabid Bills Mafia environment and try to win. And the final score there, 27-25, a really good game. That was a really good game. Lamar stepped up. He showed up, but he made too many mistakes. Your take on this one?
He did. The critical mistake was the fumble. I think he threw an interception, but I don't think they got points off that. But he brought him down. He drove him down the field the last second, and they scored a touchdown. Mark Andrews dropped the ball. Mark Andrews had he fumbled too.
He had a bad game.
He fumbled, and he dropped the 2-point conversion to tie. But then again, Lamar, you can't make those mistakes. You know,
No.
you can't be upset for Lamar trying to make a play either. That's how he plays. I mean, it was a bad snap, picked the ball up. He tried to make a play and he fumbled it. Hindsight 2020, you say fall down, live another day. But that's how he plays. But you can't put this loss on Lamar.
No, not entirely. Not entirely. No, not at all.
Because he showed up and he played. It's just some of the teammates didn't make the plays that needed to be made.
There's blame, plenty of blame to go around for the Ravens losing this game. And a lot of people say, one could say, well, Buffalo didn't beat Baltimore. Baltimore really beat themselves. I don't want to hear that. You can't fault Buffalo because they played a clean game. It's not Buffalo's fault that Baltimore didn't play a clean game.
I would say that if you watch that game, to me, I could tell Baltimore was the better team. That's just by watching it. Just by watching it, I was like, there's no reason why Baltimore shouldn't win this game. But you turn the ball over.
I can't give you a pass on that. You made too many mistakes. So in my opinion, I say this simply because I go back to my boys, my poor, skinny-legged Green Bay Packers, when they were losing to Detroit, and I was looking at the dumb mistakes, the dumb penalties, the drop passes, the interceptions. Like, I literally felt like we were a better team, but they were playing a clean game. They weren't giving the ball away. They weren't making mindless mistakes. So the team, to me, that plays clean is the better team. And I agree with you about Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, if these guys don't make any mistakes, they probably would have won by 2 touchdowns. But because of that, you have to give Buffalo credit for being literally the better team because they're a better coach. And it leads me to my next question regarding that. And that is this, and you kind of mentioned it already, but I'll just ask it straight up. Who's more to blame for the Ravens' playoff issues, Lamar Jackson or John Harbaugh?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with well, I'm gonna say you can't put it on one person. I'm gonna say all of them got to take a piece of the pie.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of them got to take a piece of it. All of them got to take blame of it. And they got to figure a way when they get in these playoffs of how to play a clean game and get through these games. I mean, Lamar said in his press conference, he said we can't turn the ball over. He said he's tired of it. He's tired of turning the ball over. If you're tired of it, don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, just still turn the ball over. I mean, it's real simple. You're tired of it. So, but see, what he was doing is he was really backhanding Mark Andrews.
But I think he was talking to himself too. He was talking
I know, but at the same time, Andrews gave it up. He gave the ball away once, and he dropped a 2-point conversion. So he's like, you gotta, don't turn the ball over, yada yada. But he was sort of backhanding Mark a little bit too. That's kind of how I saw it. But here's the reality, also, and this is why I blame John Harbaugh as much as Lamar, if not more. Why did Derrick Henry only touch the ball 16 times?
I don't understand.
I mean, you have a guy, as far as I'm concerned, that's every bit as good as Saquon Barkley. And if you had given him the ball enough this year, he would have eclipsed 2,000 yards. So I'm looking at the Ravens. I'm like, there was one drive where you fed Derrick and you went right down the field. And the Tennessee Titans actually knew how to use him because the first part of the game, he might give you 2, he might lose a yard, he might give you 3, he might give you 4 more, he might give you only 2, and then that 7th time, 45-yard TD. And then he comes back and he gets another one for 15. He runs another one for 2. Now he just battered the defense into submission. So you have to keep feeding Derrick Henry. Otherwise, why did you get him?
I think I said last week they need to give him the ball at least 20 to 25 times.
You got to give that man the ball at least 25 times, dude. In the playoff. Now, you may not do it in the regular season, but in the postseason, he's got to get a healthy diet.
Especially in that weather, where they really don't want to hit you. Like them pads, I played in cold weather. And the first thing you want to get out your mind, you just want to hit somebody because you know it's gonna hurt. And you just
hitting Derrick Henry will hurt in that kind of weather.
And then this freight train.
Look, and then
you're gonna get tired of hitting them, man. I'm trying because that cold weather, man, it don't feel good.
And then you're down there for a point after. Why are you throwing the ball when you've got Derrick Henry? For a 2-point conversion, Aaron? You're not going to give him the ball?
I'm not mad at that call because it was open. It was there. He just had to catch it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the option.
I got you. I hear you. And it was there. And normally Mark Andrews catches that ball. I get it. But I can tell you this. Had you given it to number 22, you got overtime. You got overtime, and guess what? You're probably going to win the ball game. Josh Allen and Buffalo didn't want any more. Look, dude, Baltimore was getting ready to impose their will on that game. They didn't stand a chance in overtime against Baltimore. I'm just going to tell you right now. So you just look at that, and there's a lot of questions I have for the Baltimore Ravens coaching staff, as much as I do for Lamar, because he still is not playing clean games in postseason. But I just look at Baltimore. I'm like, where are these guys going to go from here? There were some coaching changes in the NFL today. And starting with the Detroit Lions, Ben Johnson, hired by the Chicago Bears today. Can he turn the Bears around, bro?
I think it's wait to see. I really don't know. I was thinking about that today. Can he turn them around? I'm not sure, but being an offensive coordinator and a head coach are two different things. It's a lot of weight on a head coach's shoulders that him being an offensive coordinator that he didn't have to do.
Yeah.
So can he do? Is he calling plays? Is he getting the offensive coordinator to call plays? I mean, that's wait to be seen, but it's hard to do both. You saw Cliff Kingsbury for Washington when he was with Arizona. Right now, I just think he just want to be an offensive coordinator because he didn't realize all the stuff that he had to deal with in Arizona as a head coach. So it's a lot. Now, can he turn them around? It's wait to be seen. Seeing TV, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't know.
I think every team is a reflection of their head coach. And as much as Dan Campbell cries at the podium, ooh, hey, shut up, Dan. But the thing about Dan Campbell, though, he's a tough dude.
Yeah,
he's a back alley brawler. And the Detroit Lions football team, they reflect their head coach's personality. Now, just because Ben Johnson is a great play caller doesn't make him the kind of guy where men are going to follow him into battle.
Yep.
Those are two completely different things. And when you look at Cliff Kingsbury, you mentioned him when he was in Arizona. He's a great play caller, but not a great leader of men. So that, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Bears are going to be all of a sudden a great team just because they got a great play caller. We'll see. I mean, this dipstick, Ben Johnson, that's right, I call him dipstick. This dude gets in front of the podium and he says, yeah, you saw what I did to Matt LaFleur. I beat him twice. Hey, dude, you better focus on the Bears, man, winning.
Yeah.
That's what you better do. I'm going to leave him alone, though. Congratulations, Ben. Anyway, now Aaron Glenn, the other half of their coaching staff, the DC for the Lions, took the Jets job today. You think he made the right decision in doing that?
I think he did. I like that hire.
Okay.
I like him, man. He played for the Jets. He knows that organization. He knows the owner. So I think this was the right move for him. I think he could be a great head coach. I think we talked about leader of men. I think he has that personality to lead men, and men want to follow him. So for me coming out, if I had to pick the two, the one that either is going to succeed right away or, have the better career at the certain teams, when Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, I think I would go with Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. Aaron Glenn, to me, is a guy that I think men will follow.
Mm-hmm.
You just watch his demeanor on the sideline. He's an ex-football player. He was a stud of a football player with the Jets. And he just looks like a guy that men will follow into battle. My only pushback is not the Jets, Aaron. Hey, yo, Aaron, come on, man. Not the Jets, dude. You got a problem over there.
Well, you got a problem, but I'm sure you get the right GM in there. I'm not sure who the GM is right now, but you get the right GM and they work together. Look what he did with Detroit's defense, with guys walking off the street and starting the next week. And it
was amazing what he did.
What he did with that defense. So you had that, for you to do that, you had to get people to buy in really quick. Yeah. And you had to get people to buy into a system really quick and to believe basically what you're telling them to do. So I think he going, and now it may take, I don't think it's going to be like the Commanders because he don't have a quarterback. He needs a quarterback. And I don't see a quarterback in this draft like Jaden. So I don't know.
Think he could do anything with Aaron Rodgers?
I think that's the best move, to tell you the truth. I think bring Aaron Rodgers back, talk to him, and also draft somebody, the rookie, so they could just sit, But I think that would be, because I think that would take a lot of pressure. Aaron, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, you can say what you want with him, but he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah,
and you won't really have to direct the offense, what could I say, with Aaron Rodgers and whoever your offensive coordinator, you're gonna kind of know they got that side tightened up where you can focus more as being the head coach and the defense. So I would make that move.
Yeah, listen, I hope it works out for Aaron Glenn. I'm all about him succeeding and everything. I slightly push back simply because to me, organizational structure is what dictates winning on the field to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you just witnessed the Commanders. You remove a guy like Dan Snyder, who was a literal cancer to that franchise. And all of a sudden, the structure of the organization completely flips. You get Dan Quinn, you get Cliff Kingsbury, and then you get Jaden Daniels. And all of a sudden, things start lining up. You start winning. And I just think the Jets are organizationally a losing franchise. So you got to come in there and turn it around.
Woody got to get out the way.
You got to get Woody out of the way.
Woody got to get out the way. If Woody get out the way, get the GM, coach, let them do what they do, then they be fine. But he start meddling in and doing his thing, then it's going to be the same results.
It's going to be the same results. And I say the same thing for the Chicago Bears. I mean, and, with all due respect to Ben Johnson, outside of me calling him a dipstick, just kidding, Ben. But anyway, my point is the Bears are a rotten organizational structure. And so you got to come in there and you have to be a heck of an individual to reverse the culture in a situation like that. Not saying it can't be done, but that's what you're dealing with going uphill. But we'll see. Congratulations to Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, both for their head coaching positions. They both earned it. They were great, offensive and defensive coordinators for the Lions.
I would say this: Ben Johnson was hired there for really one reason, and that's to get Caleb Williams to play to his full potential.
Caleb, yeah. I agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, the guy's a great play caller. Mm-hmm. I mean, you watch what the Lions were doing this year. It was pretty amazing stuff. But you also have to have personnel that can execute what you want. I'll go back to Cliff Kingsbury for a real brief moment, and I'll leave it alone. He could not deal with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray doesn't study. He gets depressed and quits during games. If things aren't going his way, he doesn't deal with adversity very well. And after a while, Kingsbury couldn't manage that, and it didn't work out for him. And Ben Johnson going to Chicago now is going to be depending on Caleb Williams to be similar to Jared Goff. Jared Goff was a great pocket quarterback,
Mhm.
and he didn't hold the ball all day. He got that ball out quick. Jared Goff didn't hold the ball more than 2.5 seconds. The ball's gone. So that means you got to be able to read defenses and get the ball out. So it's going to come down to whether or not Caleb can execute what Ben Johnson wants to do. Jahmyr Gibbs, you don't find a Jahmyr Gibbs every day. I don't think the Bears have a Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay. I mean, you come down to personnel also. Yeah. Can you get people to do what you want on paper? But again, congratulations to Ben Johnson again for the Bears job. Maybe he can turn them around. I do believe he's a great play caller. Let's look at the championship Sunday coming up. This is for the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to start out at 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, as the division rival Washington Commanders come calling for their bid for the Super Bowl at Lincoln Financial Field on Fox. And before I ask your opinion of this game, I think about Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is a total game changer for the Eagles. Is he the one reason they can win it all, Aaron? And how bad do the New York Giants look right now?
The first question is, yes, with him, he's the one reason that they're in the position they are. Because the Eagles' passing game has been terrible.
Oh, it's been terrible. Terrible.
And why has that been? I don't know. But so the game plan is stop Saquon. If you can stop them, get a lead early, make them play catch up. Of course, you're not going. I ain't gonna say stop Saquon. I'm gonna say slow down Saquon, because you're not gonna stop him.
You're not going to stop it. No, sir.
You're not gonna stop him. But you can slow him down, just like they did the second half.
You can.
He had over 100 yards the first half against us. I think the second half he only had like 40 yards.
Yeah.
So you can slow him down. It's just you have to slow him down enough where they have to rely, okay, we got to start throwing this ball. We don't have enough time. So put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands. That's all I say. If Eagles going to beat us, don't let Saquon beat us. Let Hurts beat us with his arm. And then if they beat us like that, then they deserve to win that game. And I think the Giants look terrible right now because I don't know if you saw the clip with the Hard Knocks when the GM's son, his son was like, he asked his son, who you think I should take? He said, take Jaden Daniels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his son told him that. He said, move up and get him.
Yeah.
He said, you only get this. He said, Dad, you only get this job once.
Yeah.
You might as well just move up and get him.
Yes. Yes. You're talking about Jeffrey Lurie's son.
Yeah, he didn't listen to his son. How was that looking now? His son should have been GM.
I'm sorry. You're talking about John Mara's son.
The Giants. Yeah, the Giants GM. Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, you look at the Giants, dude, and they look really, really bad right now. I mean, to the point where you would expect heads to roll in their front office. Last I heard, John Mara doesn't want to fire anybody else, but this has got to be as bad. This is the worst trade / non-failure to re-sign since that debacle of a trade the Minnesota Vikings made with the Dallas Cowboys and Herschel Walker.
True. I would say yes. But Saquon did want to stay there, though. I heard it.
Yeah, he wanted to stay in New York. Of course he wanted to stay in New York. They didn't want to pay him.
So they wanted him to go test the market. They was like, go test the market, see your worth, and then, we're going to want you. And he was like, and he asked him, he said, Saquon, we really want you. Don't BS me, man. We want you back. Do you want to be here? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I want to be in New York. So you're going to find, okay, Philly, I mean, this is my market value. This is what teams are saying. And then I come back and give that to you and you don't want to pay me, then you really didn't want me.
Yeah.
And now
that's it. They didn't want him.
You're looking like an idiot because
Man, they're looking so dumb right now. I mean, they've got egg yolk dripping off their chin. And here's the thing. They really believed that Daniel Jones was more important to them than Saquon Barkley. They really believed that.
This is why I need to be a GM because I could have told you that.
I could take half the GM jobs in NFL right now, and I love Doritos and queso dip, man. I mean, I don't know anything about football other than just sit back and enjoying something from Wingstop. I don't know, and I could take half the jobs.
Y'all would have seen me on Hard Knocks talking about, hey, we got to trade Daniel Jones, man.
And I would have said the same thing, and I would have been holding a chicken wing. Anyway, hey, Aaron. So
we got to pay Saquon. We got to trade Jones, man. We got to do this.
the Giants look really bad here, and again, Saquon Barkley is a guy to me that can win the whole thing for the Eagles because he's that much of a game changer. I mean, Jalen Hurts has regressed.
Right now, he has to be. He has to be the workhorse. Because without him, they're not in this position, and without him, they're not going to win.
So you look at, I don't think so. And you look at this matchup, I think the best way for the Commanders to win this game, because let's just look at this thing in its totality. The Commanders, look at the Lions, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the Commanders' win. They deserve all of the high fives they can get for winning that game in the quote-unquote Lions' den. But, hey, they were missing 18 people on defense. Mm-hmm. They were operating with spit and baling wire on defense. And to JD5 and the Commanders' credit, they ran through them like it wasn't anything. But Vic Fangio and the Eagle defense is going to be a different animal. They're not going to do that to Philly. I'm just going to tell you right now. They're not going to do that to Philly. You understand what I'm saying?
They're going to have a different game plan than last time. I don't think they're going to blitz Jaden as much because I think he's like 97% against the blitz. Like if you blitz him, he's going to make you pay. So, and you saw that the last game they played, every time they blitz, he made them pay. So I think they're going to try to do more zone against him, but I think he's going to rip that up too. I just think he's just so in tune of what he's just an elite quarterback that knows, hey, if I don't have something out here to throw, that I'm gonna use my legs. Like so, either way, he's gonna get you. And I don't even think this game comes down to the offense. I think we're gonna put up points. I really think we're gonna put up enough points. I just think that our defense is gonna have to steal some possessions from the Eagles.
I don't think either team's gonna score 30 points.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think we're looking at a 24-17 game, 27-24, something like that. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a back alley brawl, and it's just going to come down to who can execute the best down the stretch. Simply because it's going to be very cold in Philadelphia, and I noticed the last time the Commanders were in Philly, Jaden doesn't like the cold. See, if you put that team on a clean surface like a dome, the Commanders are going to whip you. But if it's on a field and it's cold, the game becomes a little bit more condensed and laboring for Jaden. So I think that's going to bother him. And I also think, again, that Saquon Barkley is going to be a problem for the Commander defense. Because I feel like the best way to beat Philadelphia is to stack the box and force number 5. You know what, Jalen? I'm forcing you to beat me today. And I'm betting you can't do it.
I mean, he's done it all year to teams that didn't believe that he could beat them, and he did it. So I'd be
willing to take that bet this time.
He did it to them. He did it to them. Now, I will say this. No team has stopped Jaden. Jaden has only stopped himself. He slowed down in the middle of the year because he was injured with that rib injury that you could tell he wasn't himself. But once he got healthy, you could tell that he's a different animal. And as long as we have our playmakers make plays. He's going to get the ball there. He's going to get the ball there. He's going to make the right reads. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's not going to put us in a position. If it's not there, he's going to throw it away.
Yeah.
I seen it. If it's not there, he'll run a little bit and he'll fall down. Like, he's not going to do anything careless. So in that sense, we just have to steal possessions from Philly. If we could steal a couple possessions and capitalize off those possessions, I think that's going to be key too. You got to, just like we did in Detroit. We stole possessions and we scored off possessions. So we're going to have to do the same thing. We have to create turnovers, put them in a position where they have to throw and lean on Jalen Hurts. And I think if you do that, I think he's susceptible for throwing a couple picks. If you lean on if you got him throwing the ball, I think just like we the underdogs in this, I think they better be careful. That's all I got to say. They better be careful, because if we have the ball last and we driving down, I think JD5 won't get it done.
Well, I'll say this also. One thing about the narrative in DC, this goes all the way back to Dan Snyder. The Redskins / Commanders, they'll knock you out of a game. And they've always been the kind of team that will knock you out. And guess what? They knocked Jalen out about 3 weeks ago. And I mean, literally knocked him. They knocked him out. So
he's not 100% either. He's not 100%.
He's still not all the way back.
Mm-mm.
And I think the Commanders are going to go head hunting. And that RPO, he better not tuck that thing back in his arms. I'm not against the Commanders. He better make sure he hands that thing off an RPO, or you better pass it. But you better not keep it, because they're going to come head hunting. So I look at that part of it. The Eagles are going to have to take care of Jalen's health against this team.
Because if he goes out the game, they definitely not. I don't see them winning that game if he goes out.
No, if he goes out, dude, I would not count on. I don't know what the guy's name is, Tanner, and what's the other kid's name? Kyle Pickett. I think his grandfather is the one that led the charge on Gettysburg, and you know what happened there. Anyway, hey, dude. Hey, look. So let's switch over. Let's switch over to the next game of the day at 6:30. Buffalo and Kansas City at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium on CBS. What do you think about this matchup, Aaron?
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
But I really want Buffalo to get over this hump. I really do.
Okay. Wow. You surprised me on that. Okay.
I do. I want to see him get off this hump. That's the reason I say this, because I want to see Washington and Buffalo in the Super Bowl like it was in '91.
That would be a great rematch.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good line, a little sports line.
Well, if you want to take the sentimental route, if justice were really done sentimentally, Buffalo would finally get their Super Bowl. I mean, you talk about a team that went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them.
That'd be the narrative. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So from a sentimental standpoint, it would be nice to see the Bills get a ring. Now, let's get back to reality.
Remember what I said? I said I would like to see.
Yes. But
I don't think it's going to happen, though.
No. Let's talk real. So we look at this game right here in Kansas City, and I'm going to be honest with you. We looked at the Baltimore game, and I think we both agree on paper Baltimore was the better team.
Mm-hmm.
And because they gave the game away, Buffalo gets to move on. But I don't really believe that they're better than the Ravens. I don't really believe that Buffalo is better than there's not a lot of other teams that I could challenge, but they're definitely better. I mean, not as good as Baltimore, and I don't think they're as good as Kansas City. The Bills have weaknesses on their team that are not a championship blueprint to me. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen has to do too much for them to win. And because the Ravens gave him the game, he didn't have to. The guy, I don't think he threw the ball more than 15 yards against the Ravens.
They ain't throw that much.
And so when you go into Arrowhead Stadium, I mean, the Chiefs are not going to play sloppy football, and the referees are on their side. Okay, so now Josh Allen has to figure out a way to win this game. Like they did not give the cape to Josh in the Baltimore game. They didn't want him to put that cape on because they knew what could happen. So, okay, if we don't have to put that cape on him, let's not. But Aaron, I'm going to tell you right now, in order for the Bills to win this game, Josh Allen is going to have to be Superman.
Oh yeah, all chips in. All chips are in. And there's no, make sure the quarterback don't get hurt, don't run him too much. It's called what's going to work. That's what it is. And if you need Josh, if you need him to run 10 to 15 times, that's what it's going to take for him. He got to do it.
Yeah.
And I it's going to be a close game, but I still got the Chiefs. I just can't. You can't bet against Michael Jordan, man. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's tough.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't see Buffalo going in there and winning that game. Matter of fact, I don't even think this Buffalo team is as good as past Buffalo teams that have gone in there and come up just a little bit short. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I will say that. I said they would have more. They had more weapons on the outside with Diggs.
You mean Amari Cooper?
No,
you mean when they had? Oh yeah.
When they had Diggs, they had more.
I agree with that. Yeah,
they had more talent. So, yeah, and I mean, Amari Cooper, he gonna have to step up this game. I think he only had one catch last game or one target.
He and Deion Coleman are gonna have to step up.
They're gonna have to step up. Yeah, they're gonna have to make some type of. They're gonna have to make some plays for them to be able to move on. And the Buffalo Bills whole team gonna have to step up, especially the defense.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to get Patrick. They're gonna have to get Patrick. They're gonna have to get Mahomes uncomfortable. Getting the ball out early, running around. But I mean, he always seems to make plays when there are no plays. And
all the time, constantly. He's constantly. I mean, he plays bully ball, and I mean, he will do whatever he's got to do. I mean, I love Josh Allen's attitude. I mean, he's like, look, whatever I got to do today, I'm doing it to win this game. I don't care. I'll do a swan dive for the end zone. The thing about him is he doesn't want to be reintroduced to Chris Jones. Because I'm going to tell you, dude, if you think you're going to play bully ball against KC, but he doesn't have any choice. And I do give them a puncher's chance by him playing that way to win the ball game. Because again, against the Ravens, he didn't do anything much. He played a clean game and he got out of there. But this one right here is going to be tough. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Like you said, Patrick Mahomes is the MJ of the NFL. He's the new Tom Brady. The Chiefs are the new New England Patriots. And they got the referees on their side as well. And you're going to their home place. And I don't think Buffalo is ready for this. And as I say all of that, let's just get down to our Super Bowl predictions. And who do you have in this year's Super Bowl?
Oh, man. Of course, with the Washington and Philadelphia game, I'm going to have my boys in the burgundy and gold going to the Super Bowl first time since 91. I think we get it done. I think I don't know. I just think the way they go in this businessman, like, the world's against us, this business mind mentality, and they truly believe that they are having this dynasty, this season for a reason. And they're saying, why not them? So it'll be a wonderful story for a rookie quarterback to go to the Super Bowl, and I think they could do it. They've been the underdog since, so it's going to be a tight game. But I'm gonna go with Washington.
Okay, well, I can understand that. And then you got Washington and who?
This is going to be tough. My mind is saying the Chiefs, but my heart is saying the Bills.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Interesting pick. The Washington Commanders and the Buffalo Bills is too tall's pick for the Super Bowl. And I gotta be. I love the sentimental take. I really do. I love the sentimental take. You know, no question about it. You being from DC, you know what I'm saying. I understand why you going with your boys. And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay? And at the end of the day, I would like to see. I think it would be cool if the Commanders made it, and whatnot. But if I got to keep this thing 100, which is exactly what I'm going to do, I am going to go with the Chiefs and the Eagles, a rematch of the last time these two hooked up. I think it was 2022, or 20. I think it was 2022 the last time that they met each other, or 23, one of the two. I think it was 22. Might have been 21. I forget. But I think we're going to see a rematch here. And not only do I think we're going to see a rematch, I have a feeling this Eagle team, because no, I'm not going to do it. I got the Chiefs win the whole thing.
About to say.
I'm not even going to try it. I got KC repeating. But look, dude, anything can happen. I mean, it could be the Commanders, as you say, and the Bills.
I would rather see Commanders in Buffalo, because even though Buffalo would be, of course, they'd be the favorite to win, and everybody be like, Josh, you got to win this game. If you don't win it this time, then I don't know when you're going to win the Super Bowl. Allen would have all the pressure on his back. But I believe that the Commanders and Bills would be a more exciting game, because you got Jaden Daniels, the rookie, then you got this, superstar quarterback trying to. But then, I mean, you also got Kansas City Eagles. You got, trying to go for a three-peat, never been done in NFL history. So that's big. But I can't see Philadelphia beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I just think it'd be a more interesting game. Like the Buffalo Bills going to win, but I won't be surprised if the Commanders, they could win this game. I just think it'd be a more interesting game with Jaden Daniels than seeing, Jalen Hurts not throw the ball and just hand it off to Saquon.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this fun, because we don't know what's going to happen, and the matchups are really great. I mean, this is must-see television this weekend. Commanders, Eagles, old NFC East rivals fighting for the Super Bowl. This is the Redskins and Eagles. I don't care if you call them Commanders you want. This is the Redskins and Eagles going for the Super Bowl. Must-see TV. And then we've got Buffalo and Kansas City, who've been going to the wire for the last 3-4 years. It's must-see TV. I do believe that Josh Allen has a 2 to 3 year window if he doesn't get it done this year. He's young. He's got 2, 3, maybe 4. Super Bowl caliber years ahead of him. So I don't want to put that much pressure on Josh. He's going to have to live a lot down if he doesn't win. But I think it will be unwarranted. Like, leave this young dude alone. He's got time left. Buffalo, I know you want it now, but and they might do it. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Buffalo is built to beat Kansas City this year. They need to add maybe one more piece on either defense or offense for that team to be a little bit more complete, where it's like, this is the new sheriff in town. But that being said, we're going to see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend, this Sunday, folks. Thanks for watching the show. If you've enjoyed watching, like and subscribe to the Maurice Brown Comedy Channel, and watch us and listen to us on bogradio.fm every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and every Sunday at 9 p.m. on KCHF-TV11.org in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and also on Spotify. You can listen to the Maurice Brown Comedy Show and the NFL Playoff Edition, as well as many other shows with directors, actors, and screenwriters. I have a film out called Unknown Kingdom, which we hope to be on the YouTube platform, as well as other platforms in the next 3, 4, 5 months. I'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, everybody be blessed, stay blessed, and may the peace of Christ be with you and your families, everybody. God bless.